Hey all, welcome. I am Eduardo Bunge. I am starting this channel on AI and mental health. I will try to talk in all these videos that I will create about all what I know about chatbots, conversational agents, artificial intelligence in general, and how this can help us do our job as psychologists better. Let me start by introducing myself. I am Eduardo Bunge. If you already know me, you can skip this part. I'm a psychologist. I was trained in Argentina in the University of Buenos Aires. I was trained mostly as a clinical psychologist. In Argentina, we have an issue. We are the country with the most psychologists per inhabitant in the world, like by far. And most of the psychologists there in Argentina are doing psychoanalysis. So I was trained originally in those models in the University of Buenos Aires, but it wasn't super sure that that's something that I wanted to do. At some point, I learned about evidence-based psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. I said, oh, there's another world, right? So I started working on that area, and more specifically, I started working on the treatment of children and adolescents with anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems. I partnered with a few other psychologists, Javier Mandil, one of them. We published several books. We created an institute for training of other psychologists and to deliver service to other families. That institute called ETSI, ETCI, is probably the #1 institute in training for child psychologists in Latin America today. I am not actively involved with it anymore, but I've done that work for almost 10 years, and I've been training therapists throughout all Latin America and Argentina mostly. And I really enjoyed the job, but at some point I wanted to do something more. I wanted to do more research to make a specific contribution to the field. So I migrated to US. I've been working in Palo Alto University at a doctoral program, and I've been doing research there on how to integrate technology and mental health. Initially, I was doing work with internet interventions. I've done some work with virtual reality, with video games for depression prevention in adolescents. And around 2018, I discovered this thing called chatbots, and I started doing research with those chatbots. In the beginnings, I wasn't that excited about what chatbots could do, but I published one study in which we showed that, yeah, people use it, but they quit immediately. Those chatbots were very rudimentary. We'll talk about rule-based chatbots and generative AI chatbots later. But the second study that I published was called Bonding with a Bot. And what we did was to analyze the comments of the users that were interacting with that chatbot. And it was mind-blowing. We've seen comments such as, I thank God that he put you on my way. It was a bot created by one of my former students, Milagros Cordero. So it was very shocking to see those comments. People were saying, I like you because you're always there for me. I like you because you don't judge me. I like you because you're a woman and women understand each other. Let's make it clear. Bots do not have gender. But what we saw was that people were attributing human characteristics to these bots, even to the very rudimentary bots. People were humanizing them and were connecting with them. That's why we called Bonding with a Bot to that study. So I got excited about that. And I started working on different studies on chatbots for depression, anxiety, and autism. We have 2 papers on review process. And we've done that with adults and with adolescents. I have a research lab at Palo Alto University where we are conducting many studies. But a few years ago, you all know this, generative AI launched all these large language models that became popular. And we realized that the potential of these bots grows like at a level that we could never imagine before. So if with those rudimentary bots, we had interesting finding with some users, not all, with these bots, I think that there's a huge potential. So I started working with other colleagues and students, and at some point I reached out to Antonio Hardan, chief of child psychiatry at Stanford and say, hey, we should do a study with this. And he told me, hey, we have an issue in mental health. There's no access to treatment. There's bad quality treatments, right, being delivered by clinicians. Rather than doing this as a research study, why don't you think of this as a product that can be launched in the market? So we studied what we call Parente AI, and we're working on that, on creating chatbots that can help therapists to make their job better. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll try to make them short and to the point. The first video that I will do probably is going to be the difference between rule-based chatbots and generative AI chatbots. See you later. Bye.